Hello, welcome to our channel, Biblical Passages. We want to bring you stories from the Bible and reflect on them together. We don't just want to tell a biblical story, but to extract lessons and see how they impact our spiritual life. After all, the Bible was written not just to be told, although that is the purpose of some books. However, the Bible is a special book inspired by God, who doesn't want it to be just told, but about everything that is experienced. And today, we will start with the incredible story of Joseph of Egypt. I imagine you have heard about Joseph of Egypt. Here on YouTube, we have several videos telling his story. But in this video, we want to go a little beyond the story. We want to see what lessons we can learn from Joseph's experience. As almost everyone already knows, he was sold by his brothers to Egypt as a slave and went through many sufferings and situations. He even experienced prison. But he did not lose hope or his faith. On the contrary, each day he grew stronger in God and became even wiser, more just and honest. In Genesis chapter 40, it says that while still in prison, Joseph interpreted the dream of Pharaoh's cupbearer and immediately asked him to intercede for him with the king, so that he could be released from prison where he was. However, as soon as the dreams interpreted by Joseph were fulfilled, the cupbearer forgot about him, as it says in verse 23. But God had not forgotten about Joseph. 2 years later, Pharaoh had a dream that none of the magicians knew how to interpret, which aroused the king's anger, and it was then that the cupbearer remembered Joseph. Was it by chance that the cupbearer forgot about Joseph for 2 years? During those 2 years that he was in prison, perhaps at that moment when Joseph met the cupbearer, he just wanted to get out of prison and be with his family again. If that had happened, perhaps Joseph would have become a cupbearer in the palace. However, God's plans for him were much greater. God didn't just want to free him from prison, but he also wanted to make him governor of Egypt, so that through him God could feed and care for his people and free them from the famine that would punish all of Egypt. During that time that Joseph spent in prison, the Lord was perfecting him through the circumstances in which he lived in that hostile environment, and Joseph knew how to take advantage of that opportunity. Isn't that spectacular? Before being sold into slavery, Joseph had a dream in which his father and brothers bowed down before him. Even though this seemed strange to his family and even to Jacob, Joseph knew that this dream showed God's plans for his life, and so he never lost heart in the face of adversity, until one day this dream came true when Pharaoh appointed him governor of all Egypt. This is one of the most important lessons in Joseph's experience. No matter how much injustice he suffered, his heart always remained pure. In other words, he did not harbor hatred or resentment in his heart against those who caused him such situations of suffering. Instead, he trusted that everything he was going through had a purpose from God in his life. Even though all these negative circumstances afflicted him and made him suffer, he remained firm, waiting for God's time. Are you also experiencing difficult times and even situations of injustice in your life today? Yes. God has a purpose for your life and for each of us who believe in Him and His promises. Joseph's experience teaches us that we have to believe in this purpose and in God's plans for us. If we are going through difficult situations today, it is because God is preparing us for something even greater, just as He did for Joseph. In addition, suffering and adversity strengthen our faith, making us wiser, more compassionate, and more human if we know how to take advantage of them and see them with the eyes of faith. Therefore, do not give up. Do not lose hope or your faith in God. Maybe today you are not in a physical prison like Joseph was, or maybe your prison is an anxiety attack, depression. Maybe you are facing difficulties in your financial life, in your marital or family relationships. Maybe your difficulty is a physical illness. There are so many things that afflict and distress Christians and humanity in general today. But know that God's plans for your life are greater than what you desire in your heart. Know that every situation, no matter how negative it may be, is for God to perfect you for what He has already prepared for you. Just like Joseph, maybe the desire of your heart and your prayers are only for God to free you from prison. But God not only wants to free you, but also to use you so that through you He can help and free others as well. Think about this and meditate on it. If you liked the video, leave your like and take the opportunity to subscribe to the channel and activate notifications to receive more videos like this.